And Peter Stampfel is in the studio with us. Hi, Peter.
Hi. I'm here in the studio with you.
Yes, you are. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too. Nice to be here.
Yeah, what brings you to New York City this afternoon besides being on the radio?
I live here.
Yeah? So you're just used to being in this part of town, huh?
Yeah, I've lived here mostly since 1959.
Mm-hmm.
And I live in long ago trendy Soho since 1979.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple blocks away.
So where do you take your Honda to be fixed?
Manhattan Honda, but don't take it there if you've got one because they...
Right.
Well, I won't go into that.
Okay. Now, there was... let's see, what should I ask you first? I don't even know. There's so many things to talk to you about because you've been doing this for so long. I guess most importantly would be now what's going on
What's my
here.
favorite color? What's my favorite color?
I hate questions.
Oh, yeah, tonight the Bottlecaps are going to be playing at Wetlands.
Right?
Two sets, 10 o'clock-ish and midnight-ish, which means actually, and that's musician talk for 10:30 and 12:30. And it's going to be the first time the Bottlecaps have played in New York City since God knows how long, because we've been busily finishing our record, which is finally finished and coming out on Homestead in September.
Now, the song we just heard, "The Screaming Industrial Breakdown," is from
That's the first Bottlecap record.
previous record. And will there be more screaming industrial type stuff?
No, this record is more it's more solidly rock and roll as opposed to wildly eclectic like the last one was.
Mm-hmm. And how about the musicians that play on the record itself?
Same guys except for Elliot Sharp is playing saxophone instead of how embarrassing to forget the other guy. Instead of the other guy who I can't think of.
Right. Who was playing on the last Bottlecaps record?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. It should say here.
He's the
Saxophone Bill Obrecht.
Bill Obrecht, right, was the last one, right.
Mm-hmm.
And think of those names. Angel Dean is singing on one.
From Last Roundup.
Yeah.
Lost
yeah.
Roundup.
Last Roundup, yeah. And Maggie and Terry Roach are singing on another cut, and Maggie Owen is doing some double tracking on another cut.
Mm-hmm.
But and Kevin Mull, the same guy playing steel, is on it.
Oh, that's cool.
And the marimba player isn't on this one, but aside from that, the same people.
Now, how many of these folks will be at Wetlands tonight?
Well, just the basic six of us.
Mm-hmm.
We aren't going to have any side personnel.
Right.
So there's just us half dozen.
Cool. Well, you brought your guitar. We'd love to hear some songs.
Okay. Let's see. I taught the weeping willow how to cry, and I taught the clouds how to cover up our clear blue sky. But the tears are shed for that woman are gonna flood you, big river, and I'm gonna sit right here until I die. I met her accidentally in St. Paul, Minnesota. Tore me up first time I heard her drawl, southern drawl. Alas, my dream was soon to be seen cavorting in Davenport. Now followed you, big river, when you come. I tracked her down to St. Louis later on, down the river. Freighter said she'd been here, but she's gone, boy, she's gone. I tracked her trail to Memphis, but she just walked up the bluff, raised a few eyebrows and headed further south. Won't you kindly back me down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana? Follow that lady down to New Orleans, New Orleans. Goodbye, I had enough. Gonna take my grief and dump it in the Gulf. She loved you, big river, more than me. I taught the weeping willow how to cry, cry, cry. I taught the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. But the tears are shed for that woman, I'm gonna flood you, big river, and I'm gonna sit right here until I die. I'm Johnny Cash. No, I'm not really Johnny Cash. That's my favorite Johnny Cash song of all the Johnny Cash songs.
Yeah, there's been kind of a resurgence in Johnny Cash interest of late.
He's fantastic. The utter belief with which he can imbue every word. Like when he sings that Pepsi commercial and he says, "You've got a lot to live and Pepsi's got a lot to give." It's not like the most meaningful, true thing that a human being has ever said, because of the way he does it so good.
Mm-hmm.
What a guy.
Okay, I got a question for you. Since being in New York City here, how do you maintain your I don't know, sort of really almost countryish, folksy roots, being in like the big urban nightmare of the city?
Oh, well, for one thing, I don't think it's a nightmare.
No.
And for another thing, my roots really aren't country because I'm from Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
And although I first heard country music on the radio sporadically in the 1940s, I never really got addicted to it until 1956. I don't know. Country music is so ubiquitous right now that I really don't think that you can equate it to a kind of outdoor ambience, or even part of the country, or even the United States of America particularly, because country-ish music is being played in England and Europe and Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's country music is grown far past the country.
Mm-hmm.
And country music consciousness is spreading like a good cancer,
Right.
like a good lipid.
So you don't find it difficult at all to maintain the spirit in New York City,
Child's play,
right?
piece of cake.
Right. I also like a lot of the topics of your songs. Not only are they just sort of maybe country-ish sort of things, sometimes you have to allow me that a little bit, but also maybe even pop culture-ish a little bit. I was listening to the CBGB's set a couple times today and last night on the tape that Craig gave me, and
I never heard that tape except for that one thing. And it sounded way better. I had pneumonia when I was there, and it was 95 degrees, and my glasses kept falling in my nose.
uh-huh.
And I thought, geez, I'm really terrible. And the little bit I heard really sounded nice. I was amazed.
You seem to get ideas as you go through your set, just like, well, I haven't done this song in a long time, or since the early 60s or something. You
I must
throw
be
them
faking.
in. No.
Because I used to never prepare sets with either by myself or with the band. It was like, prepared sets are for sissies, you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Real 60s crap concept there.
Uh-huh.
Actually, the Bottlecaps did a set like that without just sort of pulling them out of the air in Boston. But aside from that, I really haven't been party to an unplanned set for several years.
Mm-hmm. Did you go through a variety of changes as you were playing, like trying to express yourself one way and then maybe saying, oh, well, maybe I should get this bunch of musicians together or this kind of group of musicians together, and then arriving at the Bottlecaps? Or
No, the Bottlecaps were sort of pretty, kind of fortune-favored getting together. Like, I ran into John Sherman originally because he was playing with Desanne McLean, who asked me to see her group.
uh-huh.
And we were going to swap, he was going to teach me guitar more than I played, and I was going to teach him fiddle, and instead we decided to form a group.
Huh.
And Tom Overgaard grew up with John, and they've been playing together in bands since they were 11. And John was in a band with Peter Moser and Ellen Greller, besides the Bottlecaps. And Jonathan Best, the keyboard guy, grew up in Rockland County with Tom and John also, so it was sort of, it was
A local conglomerate.
Right.
All right. Now, we have a couple of tapes here, and one is from the forthcoming LP, and another says Water Mixes on it, on the label.
That's the forthcoming LP too.
So it's like, what does Water Mixes mean?
We recorded the record at
Water
Water,
in
in
Hoboken?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's why it's water.
All right, got it.
Because it's not an oil-based record.
All right. So you want to play a song or play something from the tape? I'd like to hear what's on the tape.
Okay,
So,
great.
you know,
Why don't you
some
play,
of the things on there.
let's see, the first thing on the Water Mix, is that on there?
You got the tape up there.
Oh, okay,
So you have to
great.
put play. I think that's in the one in the middle.
Great, okay, yeah,
Whatever
this
you queued up.
is Little Robin, which is from our forthcoming record,
Uh-huh.
which will come forth in September.
You have to hit the start button.
Oh,
Play.
of course.
We're talking with Peter Stampfel, WNYU.
Here's a story about a special girl born into an ordinary world with a gift she could not wait to share. Folks were just like you and me. Little angel was all they'd see. Not a hint of what they should beware. Something's funny about their pride and joy. Something's rocking in Illinois. Someone flushed the kitty cat away. Started up the rider mower again. Rider moored up the mailman. Someone said that there'd be hell to pay. Will she be the president? Mother Teresa or a Hitlerette? Born again or flying nun? There she comes, we better run now. Little Robin was only 2. The car and she drove it in the pool now. Little Robin, I'm so afraid of you. Levitated just the other day. Please don't tell the CIA. What happened was that and I was just on vacation and we flew back from California and the tapes were in my bag, which went through the X-ray machine, and I think that's why it sounds like fried eggs.
Might have zapped it.
That was really how embarrassing.
Well, how about saving yourself?
Okay,
and,
I'll do a
doing the real stuff on your guitar.
Oh, here's a real song. Bamboo, bamboo seedlings, and the rain come down, seems to say in a voice so appealing. Go away, oh, don't delay. Oh, there's bamboo all around me, and I thought I'd find a way, but bamboo has tied and bound me, and I know I'm here to stay. Why do the tom-toms all beat so loudly? Why do the shadows all seem to hound me? How come did the pounding in my head? Through the night I lay on my bamboo bed. Bamboo walls, bamboo ceilings, hold me though my love is gone, like a turkey through the corn with her long pajamas on. In my heart I have no feeling, but somehow I carry on. How come the shadows seem to hound me? Why do the tom-toms all pound so loudly? How come the pounding in my head? Through the night I lay, choke on my bamboo bed. Bamboo walls, bamboo ceilings, hold me though my love is gone. In my heart I have no feeling, but somehow I carry on. Bamboo walls, bamboo ceilings, bamboo dreams live in my heart.
Peter Stampfel on WNYU playing tonight at Wetlands and
Yeah.
Speakeasy, August the 5th.
5th August with the Bottlecaps
Bottlecaps tonight.
With the Bottlecaps at Speakeasy too.
Now, when I listened to the live version of that from the canteen, you mentioned before it that you'd heard that song when you were 12 years old.
Yeah, 1950 on the radio. It was a popular song. There are a bunch of songs that were in this genre that I think of as what do I think of this genre as? Folky, melodramatic, weird songs. The first one like that was Ghost Riders in the Sky, and the second one like that was Cry the Wild Goose. And a number of people tried to sort of cash in on that feeling of like Foco Misterioso, you know? And
Foco Misterioso.
Yeah, quasi Foco Misterioso.
Right.
And here's another one. Here's another one in that wonderful, sadly lost genre from 1951, the year after Bamboo. Would be better had I never known a lover such as you, forsaking dreams and all for the siren call of your arms. Like a demon, love possessed me, you obsessed me constantly. What evil stars mine that my fate designed should be Jezebel. If ever a devil was born without a pair of horns, it was you. Jezebel, it was you. If ever an angel fell, Jezebel, it was you. Jezebel, it was you. If ever a pair of eyes promised paradise, deceiving me, grieving me, leaving me blue, Jezebel, it was you. If ever the devil's plan was made to torment man, it was you. Jezebel, would be better had I never known a lover such as you, forsaking dreams and all for the siren call of your arms. Like a demon, love possessed me, you obsess me constantly. What evil stars mine that my fate designed should be Jezebel. If ever a devil was born without a pair of horns, it was you. Jezebel, it was you. If ever an angel fell, Jezebel, and it was you. Jezebel, it was you. If ever a pair of eyes promised paradise, deceiving me, graving me, leaving me blue, Jezebel, it was you. If I ever the devil's plan, and I was made to torment the man, and it was you. Night and day, every way. Jezebel, Jezebel, Jezebel.
Right.
They don't write them like that anymore.
Radio play. Excuse me. We're listening to Peter Stampfel on WNYU. Radio play a big part in your early musical development, learning songs to the radio, or more records, would you say?
Radio. We never had a. We had a wind-up record player from the old people next door who also gave me my first violin.
Was this in Milwaukee?
Yeah, in West Allis, Wisconsin, which is a little town that's completely surrounded by Milwaukee on the southwest side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Alice Chalmers is there. We lived a block away from Alice Chalmers.
Wait, who's Alice Chalmers?
Alice Chalmers made tractors. They were bought up by Fiat. And then they went out of business finally, and the factory is now a shopping mall. Yeah.
As too many places are, I suppose.
Yeah, it was a heavy industry place. They made stuff for the war, and then they made mostly tractors and farm equipment, and heavy machinery, which Milwaukee was mostly involved with. People think of it as a beer town, but mostly it's heavy industry.
Right.
It was heavy industry.
Now, I also heard on the tape, I sort of put the age thing together. You said when you heard that song you played a minute ago, the bamboo song is what I'll call it for back.
Right, yeah, bamboo.
All right.
Yeah.
You were 12 in 1950 or 51 or so?
50, yeah.
And so what was your perspective like? I'm interested historically because I'm obviously younger, in the 60s from a folk singer, songwriter perspective.
My perspective in the 60s was stone out of my gourd. Well, I was I was so busily multi-abusing. I didn't have any perspective at all. Well, I thought I had lots of it though. Actually, I thought that rock and roll was going to unify and change the world and save mankind.
Mm-hmm.
And I also thought that if Kennedy and Khrushchev just dropped some acid together, man, we would have peace by 1966 for sure.
So when did you kind of come out of the fog?
1968 did it pretty good. That's when things became clearly different than the way I thought they were going to go. And of course by the 1970s it was obvious that something was going dreadfully wrong.
Your own songs from that period reflect that, or how would you say you approached it?
My songs were still pretty utopian in a sort of a bent way up until continued being that way way past when I. Well, my songs still are sort of like that, kind of, often, frequently. Well, I'm a romanticist.
Mm-hmm.
A romanticist is a person who believes that through projecting a vision of a better, in some ways, future, possibly that future has a greater chance of actually manifesting, maybe. If we click our heels 3 times and cross our fingers and brush our teeth.
There's no place like home.
None.
Any songs that you might be able to play from that? Genre?
Let's look at what's here. Have this handy little list here. Oh, here's a very 1960s song. This is the first song I ever wrote. It has 1965 all over it. Take me back to Random Canyon, where the griffin always riffin' and the unicorn is horny in the spring, where the crystal coyote calls over sleepy garden walls, and the wireless wombat wanders on the wing, and the wireless wombat wanders on the wing, and I'm dislocated mixed with my counterfeit Contessa, who is secretary for the local Grange. And the psychedelic sage puts the cattle in a rage, and the changing range is getting pretty strange, and the changing range is getting pretty strange. Where I'll spend each golden year watching all the cattle veer, for no sight I've ever seen provokes more charm. No, the dragons fly by night, they very seldom bite, but if you mess with the one, he'll do you harm. Beware, if you mess with one, he'll do you harm. I'm a Random Canyon fan, and I'll mess with any man who denies that Random Canyon is the best. You will find no canyon greater either side of the equator. Random Canyon is the glory of the West. Random Canyon is the glory of the West. Random Canyon is the glory of the West. Oh, have I got a 60s song for you? Oh boy, I just remembered this one.
Go, man, go. Is local.
This is typical of the karma of the Holy Modal Rounders, which is mostly bad. When we played at the what was the place in San Francisco? There were two places, the Fillmore and the Avalon. And we played at the Avalon once, and the one week that we played there was the week that they had a cash flow problem, and so they couldn't make a cool poster. And the poster was all black with the most mundane possible typeface in white. So we could have had one of those posters with my band's name on it, but. And when we played there, I was really getting kind of fed up with drugs, and I started becoming a serious alcoholic again in 1968. And so everyone was like offering us exotic drugs, and we were drinking bourbon, and everyone was really they're drinking alcohol, those swine. So all these people were going and saying the Rounders have bad karma, those guys have bad karma. So I wrote this song. I got that bad karma, baby, gonna lay it on you. I got that bad karma, baby, nothing better to do. And when that bad karma hits you, gonna holler and moan. I got that bad karma, gonna bring it on home. I try so hard to behave, but that bad karma gonna lead me to my grave. I was born, let's see, what's the next verse? I'm as down as a warthog on a summer day. No. Oh crap, this is embarrassing. Let me start over again and see if I can remember by just blanking my mind and I got that bad karma, baby, nothing. I got that bad karma, baby, gonna lay it on you. Got that bad karma, nothing better to do. And when that bad karma hits you, gonna holler and moan. I got that bad karma, gonna bring it all home. I try so hard to behave, but that bad karma, baby, gonna lead me to my grave. I'm down as a warthog on a summer day. I'm as down as a depth charge in the lowest way. I'm a backbiting, backstabbing, evil thing doer. Born in an outhouse, I live in a sewer. I try so very hard to behave, but that bad karma gonna lead me to my grave. When I get reincarnated, I'll get better yet. You may think that I'm the lowest, it's a damn good bet. But if my karma ain't the baddest, I'll find out whose is. And if he got a better karma, I'll rip off his. I try so very hard to behave, but that bad karma gonna lead me to my grave. I got that bad karma, gonna lay it on you. Bad karma, nothing better to do. When that bad karma hits you, gonna holler and moan. I got that bad karma, gonna bring it out home. Try so very hard to behave, but that bad karma gonna lead me to my grave. There's a 60s song for you.
Peter Stampfel on the New Afternoon Show. These are fun. I mean, I would just sit here and let you play, as far as I'm concerned. The new album is coming out in the fall, and it is
September.
called... Oh, right,
It's going to be called The People's Republic of Rock and Roll.
Okay. So, kind of back to the utopian vision of rock and roll being a people's republic as opposed to a business republic, I guess.
Well, referring to the band, which is a democracy, one man, one vote, great fights, about half years of dickering around to decide what songs would be on the album, and about 3 days to figure out the order of the songs. But I like that kind of niggling, every voice be heard kind of approach. Is kind of, you know, I'm just an old-fashioned 60s kind of guy, I guess, and I find that kind of way of working with other people a lot cheaper than paying them a salary,
Right.
which I couldn't afford to do anyway.
We just mentioned a lot about the 60s and what they were for you. How would you encapsulate the 70s in your own perspective? Like substance abuse over, or...
Well, the 70s is the decade the taste forgot, among other things. God, how do you care?
And now we're almost through the 80s.
Yeah, well, this is the light decade.
The light decade?
L-I-T-E.
Oh, right. I see. Got any light songs? Well, I'm just kidding. What else can we hear from you? I'd like to really just hear some songs. I think that's the best thing to do. You know?
I'd like to do something soft and delicate and pretty. Here's another one I heard when I was a little kid, and This one I heard in 1948 and never heard subsequently, and it's a lovely, 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 lovely
How do you
song.
remember these songs?
I collect old fake books, and I like ones from the 40s and 50s, and I look up old songs that I remember hearing when I'm lucky enough to find them.
I see.
And then I see whether they're as nifty as I thought they were, and if they are, I continue to sing. Then I learn them all over again.
Got it. Thanks.
So I found a whole bunch of them like that.
All right.
You know, and like Bamboo, for instance, like Mark Bingham moved into a place and someone had a song hits magazine from 1950 underneath the bed and say, "Hey, I think look at this, you'll love this," and it had the words to Bamboo, and the chords I could make pretty easy because it was like Foco Misterioso songs are kind of simple chordally, more simple chordally than the pop songs of their general period.
Right.
Anyway, I love this one. Got a ticket the other night. Union Station was lit up bright. The crowd was shoving. The crowd was shoving with all of its might, and we all settled down for a trip on a Greyhound bus. The Highland Tunnel was open wide. We rode along underneath the tide and found ourselves on the Jersey side. What a glorious time heading west on a Greyhound bus. That's us. Stop for hot dogs and soda pop. Ask the driver, hey, how long till we make another stop? Soon the stars disappeared from view. Soon the sun disappeared from view. The stars came out like they always do. And I cuddled up close to you, and we both fell in love on a trip on a Greyhound bus. Stop for hot dogs and soda pop. Ask the driver, hey, how long till we make another stop? Soon the sun disappeared from view. The stars came out like they always do. And I cuddled up close to you, and we both fell in love on a trip on a Greyhound bus. That's us in love on a Greyhound bus.
Right.
Isn't that a sweet song?
Yes, very nice.